All right, we're back for another Friday financial wrap-up without Mr. Michael Zuber. Michael and Olivia are still on a cruise. Very well-deserved travel and leisure. I hope you're having a great time, Michael and Olivia. This is for March the 14th, 2025. Let's get right into it. A lot of concern. Tariffs, trade war, potential government shutdown, and how does all of this affect real estate? Mortgage rates. Let's get into it. Definitely, Michael's been talking about it all week on the daily financial news. Consumers are definitely pulling back. A lot of talk, a lot of fear, a lot of concern about potential recession. Are we going to be in a recession? Q1, Q2, time will tell. Let's take a look at the stock market. Now, if we look at the Dow, they say the Dow is on pace for the worst week since June of 2022. If you see that, it definitely has been a rough month. Also, if we look at the S&P, they say this is the worst week since September of 2024. So it's no secret, right? If you pay attention, the stock market has really been beat up the last 4 to 6 weeks. Again, a lot of fear, a lot of concern about tariffs. What will this mean? Government spending, the government shutdown, a lot of uncertainty in this economy, which, again, Michael and I have been talking about for months. That this was going to be a theme for 2025, uncertainty. Let's continue. Now, if we look at CPI this week, again, this seemed to be the hottest thing we talked about for the last 5 years. This week, and seems like in 2025, not as relevant. Again, a lot of concern about trade wars, stock market, what's going on with the 10-year bond, overall financial stability, government shutdown, and all of it. But CPI was actually better than expected. It came in at 2.8% this week. A big thing that Michael always talks about, and quite honestly, I don't completely understand it, but I do get the nature and the trend of it, is that he talks about core or super core, and he talks about shelter inflation, and that shelter inflation was 4.2%. This was the lowest since December 2021, and that the idea is that shelter cost is now softening as we're getting into deeper into 2025. Again, time will tell. Now, the big question also this week is, will the Fed cut rates? And if so, when? So Goldman Sachs this week, they reported, their analysts said that no cuts until the summer, and they expected 2 cuts in 2025. Other firms, other analysts I've seen on CNBC talking about 3 cuts this year, potentially the first rate cut coming in July. Time will tell. This was an interesting piece of news. I am a pretty devout Southwest Airlines flyer, mostly for convenience, right? So if you're flying out of the Bay Area, you have San Francisco, San Jose, Oakland, Sacramento. Southwest dominates in Northern California, in the San Francisco, Oakland Bay Area, in terms of having a lot of flights everywhere. It used to be that they were high value, low cost, and then also things like bags. Well, of course, this week they changed their bag policy. A lot of talk, Michael talked about this briefly, that airlines are definitely shifting. There's a lot of airlines getting beat up, airlines in and out of bankruptcy. Time will tell, but it's interesting. Again, this goes back to the fact that are we, the consumer, slowing down, number one, and then number two, are we in the beginning signs of what will be a recession? Time will tell. Also, big real estate news this week. Redfin, the real estate tech company, being acquired by Rocket Mortgage, Rocket Companies. They are acquiring Redfin. The CEO of Redfin in this particular article was not happy about it. He said basically it's being acquired and it's going to be, his quotes were, stripped for parts. And that, what does that really mean? That maybe Redfin changes its business model. Maybe it's just now another lead generation source. Time will tell. Let's take a look. Also, a lot of concern or questions about what does Zillow do now? Could we see Zillow, the tech giant, real estate tech giant, now maybe potentially, are they going to go out and acquire a mortgage company, or vice versa? Is Zillow potentially a target for acquisition? Time will tell. The one thing for sure in real estate, especially on the brokerage industry and the lending industry, This is a time of uncertainty. This is a time of disruption. The NAR settlement, all of that, which I won't get into today. 2025 is a year of reset, something I have talked a lot about, at least in private groups, private speaking events. This will be a year of a reset. So again, in a reset during a time of uncertainty, a lot of opportunity. Let's continue. Now, if we take a look at the yield on the 10-year note, trading this week at about 4.3%. This is down just 2 months ago. It was trading, it opened at 4.8. So we're down 50 basis points. That is directly affecting bringing down 30-year mortgage rates. A lot of analysts talking about financial news, talking about that a lot of money is moving from the stock market to the bond market for safety. Again, why? Because we are in an uncertain time. Now, as I wrap up, if we take a look at the 30-year mortgage, it's improving. It has been improving the last 2 to 3 weeks, 6.78. That is an improvement. It felt really sticky at 7%. Michael has talked about, we've talked a lot about that we thought we would average 7%. With this sudden shift, maybe potentially going into a recession, could this really mean that interest rates begin to trend down to 6.5%? 6.25%, 6%, or even sub 6% rates? Time will tell. A couple things also, Michael reported earlier this week that weekly demand for mortgage up, refinance demand up 11% this week, purchase demand up 16%, and that year over year up 90%. So what does that mean? Mortgage rates coming down. It's starting to hopefully maybe unlock some of the market. Michael seemed to not think that that would be the case. It seems as though, at least for me, being someone that's very active, talking directly to sellers, investors, feet on the street, on the brokerage side, it feels like there is not just pent up demand of people that want to buy, but really pent up supply, people that are wanting to sell, people that are wanting to downsize and or move out of state, people that are wanting to get out of, properties that are unfit, probate properties, maybe bad landlord situations where you have bad tenants and or landlords who are just burned out. So a lot of opportunity there. Again, as I've said before, a lot of uncertainty, but with uncertainty comes a lot of opportunity, folks. That is your Friday financial news for March the 14th. I hope you have a great weekend. Thank you so much for watching. Subscribe, like, and follow. Thank you for watching.